Okay, guys, we can start now. In the last lecture, we have talked about repetition statements, and we start talking about for loop, and we have talked about nested for loop, and we studied together a while statement, if you remember this in our last lecture. So this lab, we will apply in this lab some examples to understand what we have studied in our last lecture. So we will go through the flowchart just to remind you how the repetition statements are working. If you remember, we have a start condition or initial value here. Then we will check the condition here. We have an initial value and we have a start. Then we will check the condition. If the condition is true, I will go inside my loop and start iteration or start my iterations here. Until the condition becomes false, I will go or exit my loop and end my loop here. This structure is for all loops, for all loop statement. So while has the same concepts, for has this concept, also do while has the same concepts too. We have a start, we have condition, we need to check the condition. If the condition is true, I will execute this statement. Otherwise, I will exit. If the condition is false, I will exit my loop. I think only one language has the opposite of this flowchart. If the condition is false, we will start executing the loop. This loop is individual basic, and it is called do until, not do while, do until. But here in C++ and most of our programming language, we have while, we have do while, and we have the for loop. Now here is the syntax of for loop. We have, if you remember, initial expression, condition expression, and the loop expression here, and we have some statements to write here. And if you have one statement, it's okay to put it without braces. If you need to execute more than one statement inside the for loop, you have to surround these statements by braces. You must surround these statements by braces. Okay, now we will go to task 1, and I will ask you a question about this once you finish this task. Now we have in mathematics what we call factorial. Now the factorial is like this. We have exclamation mark 4. That means this is the factorial of 4. The factorial of 4 is means that you have to multiply 4 by 3 by 2 by 1, and so the result is 24. Now let's suppose that we have a 3 here, so 3 it will be 3 will be a 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1, which is equal 6. And also let's say that we have the same for 2 and for 5. For example, the factorial of 5 is 120. The factorial of 5 is 120. I mentioned this value because once you run your program, you need to check the results, okay? when you run the program, you will verify the correcting if the results are correct or not when you run the program. So now our first example is to check the factorial. Now here we have entered, as you can see, the, sorry for this, just I will remove the underline here. We have in this, as a sample run, we have entered a positive value integer 5, and the factorial or the result of 5 is 120. Now I need you to apply this example. As you can see here, we start from the number. The initialization value is the number that we have entered, and we will decrease the value of this number until we reach 1. So you have to do this using a for loop or a while loop, and you have to save the value inside a variable called fact or factorial or if, and calculate the result. So I will give you, in this example, let's say it is not too hard, 10 minutes. Then I will ask you some questions about this example. After that, we will go to next task. So now I will give you in this example 10 minutes. Start working on this. And as always, if you have any compilation error and you are not able to solve this problem, please share the screen with me. Yes, Ziyad.
Assalamu alaikum, Doctor.
Alaikum salam.
Can you solve it for us, because it's the first time we use the for condition, because now I don't know how to use it at all.
You forgot that? Why you didn't review your lecture?
No, not forget, but I don't know how to use the condition right here.
Okay, I will solve this with you quickly.
In C++, please, because we want to see it.
Yes, I always, we are studying C++. What do you want?
No, I mean in the program, not in the word sheet.
Yes, it's okay now. Now I will go quickly here. I will help you in this if you think that you have forgotten the C++ or whatever. I have this. Now guys, we have this. Can you see the file now?
Yes, we can.
Now we have the factorial. As we mentioned here, we have, let's suppose 4, which is equal 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. Okay? So now, in this case, I will try to solve this problem. Now, in this example, I will start from 4 until I reach 1 when I multiply my value. Now, so the initial value is 4. I will repeat the condition until I reach 1. So 1 is within the range now here. So, and we need to save this value inside a variable. So now I will start for int num for int I equal num y num less or equal 1 num plus plus. Okay. You have to define something like fact to save the value. Okay, I will keep it like this for a reason, and we will start here. Now here the fact is equal num plus fact. Then I will try here, sorry for this, I will decrease the value by 1, and then we will print out the fact. Okay. So now, can you see the screen, guys?
Yes, we can.
Okay. There is something wrong here. What is it? I have done this for a purpose. What is wrong with this code? Anyone can tell me?
None less than or equal 1.
No, one is included. Reason? Yes.
The int I, you didn't initialize it.
Equal none. No, int I equal none. I will read the number here, first of all, sir. Yes, I will read the number. That's easy. But this is not the point, and I have to define now. Okay, I will read it, so I will change the symbol here. Now, what else? Who said equal 0? Who said
Abdulaziz.
that? Abdulaziz what?
Abdulaziz Saud.
What also? Third name. Faisal, okay. Now Abdulaziz mentioned the correct answer. Now here, if you are initializing something for factorial and you are going to multiply value, you need to initialize this value by 1. If you have initialized it by 0, always the result will be 0. Okay, I have done this in a purpose in order to make you not to forget this at all in your life. If you are going to save inside this variable a result from a multiplication process, as you can see here, okay, you have to initialize the variable by 1, because if it is not initialized or if it is 0, all the value here will return 0 and the program will not work with you. So what is happening here? Let's suppose that I have entered 3. Now I think you can see, right? I am writing somewhere. Yeah. So let's suppose that I have entered number 3. I don't want to enter a large number to earn some time. Okay. Now here I don't want to consume a lot of time on this. Now here we have entered number 3 here. So the iteration I will start from 3. Okay, so I will move or will iterate from the 3 until it reach 1. So we have 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Every time I am decreasing the num by 1. So first of all, num fact equal 1. Okay, I will multiply here 3, just follow by 1. 3 by 1. And the result will be saved inside the fact, which is 3. In the second iteration now, I will multiply the fact, which is now 3. Okay. In the second iteration, I will multiply the fact, which is 3, by num, which is 2. And will be saved inside the fact. It will become 6. In the third step, I am going to multiply it by 1. So 6 multiplied by 1 equal what? 6. Okay. So this is what happened. Now the number is decreasing and I should initialize the fact to 1. The fact to 1. This is what is happening while running the program. In the first iteration, number is equal 3 because I have entered the 3, and I will multiply it by 1. Then I will multiply the result of the fact, which will be saved here, by number, and the number will be decreased, so I will multiply it by 2 and save the value. Finally, I will multiply it by number 1, which is 1. 6 by 1, which is 6. So the factorial of 3 is actually 6, right? 3 by 2 by 1 is 6. So this is, I will just add it as a comment here. I will try to run, maybe I have some compilation error. I don't know. I have an error here. and this is because of number 3. I compile pressing F9. I can press F9 and F10 to run. So now I will try my program. Okay. So first of all, define this as 1 and initialize the number and enter the number. Then you will start by initializing the value here by num, while this is greater than here. And we will start now. Right? It's supposed to be greater because I'm starting from larger number to smaller number. Now the result is correct. If you want me to share the screen, I will share it with you. Here is the result. Now the factorial of 3 is 6. Okay. So this is the solution. Okay. Now we will try to just solve this. Try to solve this. It's easy. The next thing that I need here is to initialize the fact by 1, and I have to define a variable depends on the value that I have entered. And of course, because I'm starting from large number to small number, I have to write greater or equal or greater. Then I will start to decrease my value and find the result. So have you finished this? Have you finished this, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Only one person has finished this. Chat with me if you are done with it. So that I will go to next assignment here. Okay. It's not that difficult. It's easy. Yes, Saad, do you have any question?
Yes, doctor.
Yes.
الحين the number
in English try. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't
The answer
speak.
that we put, it is already in C++. So what if I put the code that asks the user to put any number? So will it change the code?
You are entering any number here. If you have entered number 3, you will start from 3. Okay? If you have entered number 5, you will start from 5. I have written a sample here.
Okay.
Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah, it is not a fixed, it is a generalized code. Okay? You can enter any number because we are depending on the number here. Okay, Saad? Clear?
Yes, clear.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any other questions, guys? Now I am in task 2. You have to enter the number here. And based on this number, you need to find the multiplication table. The multiplication table. Okay. Now, try to solve this. This is not supposed to take you more than maybe, I don't think, more than 10 minutes. So please try to solve this. 10 minutes or 15 minutes, that's okay. Our lab for today is simple. It is not that difficult. You have to enter the number in task 2 and find the multiplication table. Go ahead, guys. And as always, if you have any compilation error and you are unable to fix this error, please share the screen with me. Now, guys, this is task 2 solution.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Sorry if there is disruption or losing the connection. So this is task 2. As I mentioned, we start from 1 to 10 because we are going to multiply to find the multiplication table from 1 to 10. If you want it to 100, you can add 100. If you want it to 1,000 or 1 million, it's up to you. And you can change maybe this to a variable here. And change the value 10 to a variable that you are entering using the keyboard. Okay. But make sure the value should be greater than I. Greater than I. The value entered here. If you want it more dynamic and more generalized, you can enter the positive number and also enter the range or the end of the multiplication table. You can enter, I want to multiply it by 10 or 100, 1 million, whatever. So I can add here another variable and put it or replace it instead of 10. Okay, sure. Are you with me now? Have you finished task 2? Applying the example helps you to understand. Don't forget that at all. I believe that if you have applied the example, you will get very high mark in the exam. Yes, Abdullah. For those who have finished task number 2, they can start with task number 3. Now, we want to write a program in C++ to display the interns of all natural number and their sum. So, for example, if I have entered number 5, I am going to start to find the first 5 odd number in the number that we are familiar with, starting from 1, and we will find the summation of them. For example, let's suppose that I have entered 5. That means I am going to check the first 5 number. I will find the first 5 odd number. Mean number of terms, mean how many numbers that I am going to find the sum to. And those numbers should be odd number. So I will find 5 number. First 5 numbers starting from 1 or from 0. So I will print out the odd number here. Okay. And after that, now once I finish or I reach to I find the sum of 5 based on the value that I have entered here, I will find the sum of this odd number. Now you have the 2 ways to solve this. You have simple way and more complex way. Okay, so it's up to you how to solve this program. Please try always to simplify your code. If you can solve the program using a simple code, that would be better, other than writing more complex and more statements in your code. For example, the task for raising up a validation message to check if the character is capital or not, you can just check if they are capital, then you can add else. Some of you, their program is working correctly, but they start checking if digit, if symbol, if the character is a small letter, whatever. You can do it in the opposite way. You can check if they are a capital letter, then you can convert it to small letter. Otherwise, you can write invalid character. Or you can check if they are small letter, then you can convert it to capital letter, else you can write invalid character. This is based on the exam question and the assessment question. I am talking about the exam and assessment question. It is better to solve it in the easiest way. Okay, it's better. I advise everyone when he writes the code, and if let's suppose that the code is working correctly, try always to simplify your solution and find the easiest way. Okay? Because as long as you are increasing the line of code, that means more complexity and bad performance in your code. Okay. So please try to solve now task number 3 and find the solution.
Doctor,
Yes.
sorry, but can you explain the task 3 again? Because I was writing the task 2.
Okay, now we are going to enter number of terms in this program. Number of terms mean how many numbers that I am going to find the sum for. But these numbers are supposed to be odd number. Okay, for example, if I have entered 3, that means I am going to find the sum of the first 3 odd numbers. If I have entered 5, as you can see here on this, in the sample run, I am going to find the sum of the first 5 numbers, first odd 5 numbers. Okay, so as you can see here, I will now the first 5 odd number in the natural number are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So the sum of this number is 25. This is the idea behind our solution. Now, this example can be solved in a simple way or more complex way. So please try to think in the easiest way, okay, or the more simple way. Don't think about the complex way. Most of you will think about using for and if and check the counter. When I found an odd number, I will check if I will increase a counter by 1 and I will compare it with the number of terms until I reach the number of terms. This is the more complex way. Try to think about this in a simpler way or easier way. Think about this. I will give you in this other maybe 10 minutes starting from now, and we will go over the solution later. Anyone has finished this task, he can share the screen with me. Let's share knowledge and experience together. If anyone has solved this, he can share the screen with me. Okay. For I equal I plus plus, you are multiplying by 2 and increase by 1. Yes, this is the solution, but you did not print out the answer actually. You need to print the sum, right?
Right.
Yes, no problem. Print, write the statement and then execute the running and the running window with us and share it. Once you execute, please try to share it.
Is it showing?
Yes, enter number 4, for example, 1 plus 3 plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 7. But you need to recompile your code, okay? You forgot to recompile, just to... Have you printed out the result of the summation?
Like how?
See out the sum. You didn't, I think. I don't know if you have added this statement.
Oh, yes.
I I can't see, maybe the screen is frozen or something. Just stop this and write the code and complete your code and run it again, please. Yes, write C out sum after exiting the for loop. The for loop, then recompile the file again, then run it so that we can see the results. So the number of odd number is 1357, and the summation is 9 plus 7 is 16. That's good. Okay. Share the code again and let the student take a look at the code for maybe 3 minutes, and we will go to next task later. So share the code with the student. Okay. Thank you, Sultan.
You're welcome.
Guys, now Sultan is sharing his screen with you. So please check the solution and try to print out the output here. Here we are printing the value, and we have, and in the here we're starting from 1 until n. So if I have entered 5 number, for example, or 4, I will start it from 1 to 4. Then I will increase the value by 1. After that, I will multiply here I will multiply 2 by I, which is 2, minus 1, which is 1. And then I want to multiply 2 by 2 minus 1, which is 3. 2 by 3 minus 1, which is 5. And 2 by 4 minus 1, which is 7. Okay, and every time I am calculating or adding these values to the sum in line number 16, as you can see here, he has used a shortcut for the assignment, write sum plus equal the value, and after exiting the for loop, he has printed out the sum. Thank you, Sultan. Okay, you can stop share now, Sultan. You can stop share. Thank you. Sorry for the interruption. Now for task number 3, you are going to print all the numbers from 100 to 200 that are divisible by 9. So of course you are going to use a for loop and an if statement to check if they are divisible by 9. Of course you are going to use the mod operator. So please go quickly for this task, because I am going just to give you more tasks about not assignment, just an example to think about. You can, in your free time, when you have free time, go to this example and try to solve them. The solution exists on the internet. You can search and find the solution, but we don't want you to do that. Okay, this example for you, not for me. No grades for this example. Just I want you to solve this task in order to enhance yourself by writing nested for. Nested for is very important. You will find that you will need it a lot in your career. Okay, using nested for or nested if or nested query, if you know about the query, you are going to, because in the real life the tasks are more complex. So once we finish this, inshallah, I will give you maybe 7 minutes in this, and of course, if you have any problem, please share the screen with me, and if you have solved also this task, please share the screen with me. Okay, now, sorry, I will go to task number 4, which is easy actually. I know that most of you can solve the task here. We are finding the sum of these values, starting from, supposed to start from 100, because we are writing here between. Between means from 100 to 200. So this should be changed like this. Okay? It's okay to keep it 101, but it's better to follow the requirements and start from 100. Okay? Can you see the solution now, guys? Just chat with me or answer.
Yes, we can.
That's good. Now I'm starting from 100 to 200, and it is supposed to be, because I am writing between here, like this. Okay, but as you know, 100 and 200 are not divisible by 9. So if you start from 100 to 1 and the value is less than 200, that's okay, because these numbers are not divisible by 9. So it's okay to just, but based on our requirements, we have to start from 100 to 200, and then I will start here to find the mode value, mode by 9, as you all know this operation. Then I will print the value here and save the value inside a sum variable. As you can see here, we have initialized the sum to 0. If you did not initialize this to 0, sometime the program will work, and in other cases it will not work. It depends on the RAM and the memory in your computer. Okay, so it's better to, because you are finding the sum, to assign the value to 0. And as I said before, if you are going to find the factorial or you are going to do a multiplication process, assign the value to 1. Okay, this is the solution. I think it's easy. Just I will give you in this other 10 minutes, and inshallah I will just show you some other example to solve. Okay, go ahead and solve this. It is easy, inshallah. Hello? Can you hear me? You can. It seems that you can't. Alhamdulillah. I am laughing sometimes on the online labs. You know, I don't know if you are solving, if you are watching a movie or what. Okay, have you solved this? It is easy, I think. Do you have any question regarding this? Anyone has any question? If you didn't answer, I assume that it is clear. Okay. Okay, our lab for today is not that difficult, it is simple. So I will show you some example, and I want you to solve it in your free time. Just give me a few seconds to share the file, I called it stars. It is for the stars actually. Now, look at a 3 example here. Can you see the file? You can take a screenshot using your mobile. If it's okay, it's for you, not for me. It is not graded. You can solve it in your free time. It is a challenge for you. You might find the solution on the internet, but please don't do that. Try to solve it yourself, to solve this solution yourself. We need to solve all of these using for loop. Okay? Nested for. Actually, you need a nested for all of these. You need for this 2 for, you need, I think, 3 fors, and here you need another 3 nested for loop. Now, guys, the idea behind this is to find the relation between the number of line and the number of stars here. Now, can you see the file, guys? Can anyone just answer me using the
Yes.
mic?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yes. Actually, I used to train my students, not here, not in Saudi, in other country, to solve this example. But here in the university, we have specific curriculum, specific curriculum. So I used to be strict with the tasks that are assigned to you. But I find these tasks are useful for you. Now here, you can see I am in the first line printing 1 star. Here I am printing 2 stars. Here I am printing 3 stars. And so on, 5 stars. So we want to find a relation between the number of line here, which is 1, and here is 2, and the number of stars here. So in line number 1, I'm going to print out 1 star. In line number 2, I'm going to print out 2 stars. Now, for the lines, we have outer 4. For the stars, have inner 4. Okay. Now, I think this is simple. Now, we will go to this, guys. I don't know if you remember the example in the lecture. We have printed the line in the slides in this shape, using this triangle here. Okay, look at the stars, please. Here. Okay, but and I told you no, it will not be printed like this because we don't have spaces here. We don't have spaces here. Nothing will print the spaces. If you went again to the slide, to the example that print out the number in this shape, you will see that they are printed like this triangle. But actually they will not, because we have discussed this together and we said that nothing is going to print the space here. Nothing in the code is printing spaces here. Okay. So now we need here to find a relation between the stars, which is equal star number 1, and the number of line is 1, but the number of spaces here is 5. Now we will go to number 2. Now the number of lines is 2, and the number of stars is 2, and the number of spaces is 4. So you need to find a relation to print this star like this. Here I am adding just adding the number just to make you understand the relation. Okay, you can just capture this by your laptop or take a photo using your mobile. These are the relation between the stars, the spaces, and the line. And also in this case, we are going to consider a 3. Here we have a 3 stars, sorry, also. Just I will.
The screen is frozen, doctor.
No, I will share it again. Just give me a few seconds, okay? I will share it again. This is somehow challenging, but the assessment that I'm going to share it with you is more difficult, okay? Somehow think about this. Now, you see now the screen, or not? It seems there is something. Can you see the screen now for this, for the file?
We can see it.
Okay, thank you. Now we have here in example number 1, we have 4, 2 4s. Here I think we will need 3 loops, and here we need 3 loops. Okay. Now here I have no spaces. It's just like this. Okay. Here we have 1. Here we have 2. We have here 3. I think like this, and here we have.
I think it's frozen.
No problem. Just make sure that the number of spaces in. I will share and stop share again. Just give me a few seconds here. Now here the number of line is 1. The number of 5. The number of spaces is 1. Here the number of here we have the number of lines is 2, the number of stars is 4, the number of spaces is also 2. And here we have the number of lines is 3, the number of stars is 3, the number of spaces is 3. So we have to consider 3 things. Here we have 2, 2, 4. So you need to write a for loop that solves this. Find the relation between the stars and the line and the spaces. Here we have 1, 5, 5 spaces. So this number are representing the number of stars, the number of line, and the number of spaces here. So think about this. It is for you, not for me. It is just to help you to understand or train yourself or enhance yourself or work on yourself to use or write nested form, if you like this. Okay? Okay, guys, is this clear for these? Try to solve it. Don't look at that. Don't look and find a solution on using the Google or whatever, any site. You will find a solution. Actually, this is a common or a familiar, a well-known example. But if you work on this by yourself, you will, you will enhance. Really, you will enhance yourself, and you will figure out how to use nested form. Because actually you are going to use for loop a lot and nested for in the arrays. In the arrays. في المصفوفات اللي راح ندرسها you are going to use them a lot. So try to enhance yourself and using these statements. Okay, guys, if this is clear, do you need anything?
No, clear.
I hope that it's clear for everyone. Okay, take a snapshot or a screenshot or a picture for this one and try to solve it if you like.